You're watching Your Vote on Your TV. Joining me now is Rachel Willsie. Rachel will represent the Liberal Party of Ontario in the next upcoming provincial election, February 27th. Thanks so much for taking time to join us.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about who you are.
I am Rachel Willsie. As you know, I'm the Liberal candidate for Sarnia-Lambton. Very excited about this opportunity. I'm 45 years old, so young getting into it, and some have maybe said inexperienced, but I can't stress enough that my background in healthcare and education is driving this decision, as well as my current academic achievements, pursuing my Master's of Public Policy in Political Science at the University of Windsor. So looking at developing policy is my goal within the government levels, and just really with this strong focus that everything about what I've done has been advocating for the public and their well-being, and so very much focused on Sarnia-Lambton, being that is our riding, and looking forward to supporting the residents and community here.
Right. Talk to us a little bit about healthcare. Obviously, your leader, Bonnie Crombie, has talked a lot about healthcare, at least to this stage of the campaign. What do you see as maybe some points of focus as far as rejuvenating our local healthcare is concerned?
I think where we need to start is that the hospital was initiated under a Liberal government. We haven't seen many changes within healthcare, with the exception of a significant decline. And the Liberal government was institutional and incremental, rather, in getting that hospital going, and the health teams that we have out in the community, as well as the Exmouth Health Centre. So it's important, I think, to trend back to where the Liberal government started this plan for the Sarnia community and its health. What we're seeing now, though, is tremendous decline in health services in terms of accessibility. That's one fundamental issue. We know that we have 2.5 million people in the province of Ontario without access to primary care, and that's a concern. It's then we're seeing the downfall of that. We're not able to service the community the way it needs to be serviced. The wait times are astronomical, and not just in the emergency department, but access to referring physicians. We don't have the expertise in Sarnia, and it's not that people necessarily don't want to come and live here and practice here. We just don't have the incentives for the physicians, and we don't have the educated physicians available. So we really do need to look at how we can rebuild this healthcare system. Fundamentally, we're working on a significant deficit. Unfortunately, capping public sector wages at 1% through Bill 124 has led significant deficit at the hospital. And to be working at the hospital under such a deficit really does look at the brinks of bankruptcy, and we know what bankruptcy looks like financially, which then all of a sudden filters itself down into how we're providing care. Healthcare has been stressed. COVID has done its due diligence on the healthcare system itself. After that, Blue Water Health unfortunately suffered the cyber attack. So we went from one extreme to another extreme. We have the burnout going on, and the burnout was existing long before COVID, but it's without the recruitment and retention of qualified professionals, we do not have the ability to sustain the health needs of this community, and it's very unfortunate. I worked at Blue Water Health for over 15 years, and I'm very passionate about healthcare, and I feel very strongly that we could do much better for Sarnia-Lambton than what we are, and it's all based around policy and funding and how we can advance that to improve the current status of healthcare.
Right. One of your other passions, obviously, with moving toward your master's degree is education. What's sort of the platform when it comes to the Ontario Liberal Party as far as education is concerned?
Well, we've been engaging with key stakeholders in the community, and one of them was focused on education, and the needs of the education system really do need to really look at the complexity of the learning environment. Students in this learning environment, they're much more complex. Their needs are much more specific. It's not something where it's not a one-size-fits-all any longer. The class sizes have increased astronomically under our current administration, and it's not allowing for those intricate details that are required in order to refine education. We know that without solid education, we have no solid future for these children, and we're failing the children. These talks of, the contracts with the 1% wage increase, or cap rather, limited teachers from really being able to come to work without the fear of, needing to go on strike to advocate for the needs of the classroom and advocate for the wages that are appropriate, leaving parents, in these situations where they weren't sure whether or not we were going to have education to what it should be and available for students as it should be on a regular basis. I think teachers are very frustrated. I think that teachers' voices are not being heard. Decisions are being made above them and not with them. And I think when you've got that gap in communication and decision making, those that really truly understand the education industry do need to be part of that decision making. And a lot of that overhead decision making is not including our frontline workers.
Right. What else are people talking to you as you head out on these cold days to knock on doors? Are there other issues that people sort of top of mind right now?
A lot of people are very concerned just about the snap election in itself being called. Some have voiced the concerns that they're not able to even get out and vote. There's concerns that they don't have that accessibility to the polls, and I know our association is looking at ways of facilitating voting. That's very concerning to them. There's not so much the language barriers in our community, but we are seeing that in other communities where translation services have been forced to be made available because voters just don't have the ability to understand what's going on. Many of us are very frustrated not seeing this as a necessary move right now. Financially, the province is looking at some serious costs associated with this election at this time, and I think that, not seeing, just reviewing myself, the headlines of where Bob Bailey is not wanting to participate in any of the debates and wanting to connect with the public outside of a few stops at a donut shop have really frustrated a lot of voters. A lot of people have voiced the concerns that they're, it's leaving them without the information that they need to place a vote that's informed.
Right.
So very concerned that they're not hearing the platforms of all candidates, which is essential to place a vote.
Right. I'll give you the final word. If you were sitting at someone's kitchen table and they're asking why should I vote for you, what would you tell them?
I would tell you that with my career rooted in public advocacy, Sarnia-Lambton needs a strong voice at Queen's Park. We really do. We have not seen many changes in Sarnia-Lambton at all in the last 18 years, and respectfully, Mr. Bailey's had the platform for the last 18 years, and we're just at a phase now where status quo isn't going to work. We need to have changes made, we need active changes, and we need prompt changes. We have a community that's really, really struggling from all regard, and we need somebody at Queen's Park that's going to seek results and do so through a strong voice of advocacy.
Rachel Willsie, thanks so much for taking time.
Thank you.